You remember when albums were the gold standard of music? If you were serious about music at all, you'd have a record pressed or you would purchase a record that was professionally pressed because it got the closest sound to what the original artist, or if you were the original artist, you would want. The tech has evolved over the years. It went from record to tape to CD to MP3 to streaming services. Suddenly, records somehow were outdated. But guess what? People are buying records again because they offer something that digital cannot, and that's authenticity. Websites are kind of the same way. You know, back in the day, it was the foundation of your online presence. Then social media took over and people thought, who needs a website? You know, with stuff like Instagram and Facebook and every other social media out there, you could get your photos or whatever message you wanted out there to a mass audience, but it wasn't your audience. It was an audience based off of algorithms. Just like vinyl, websites are making a comeback for artists, photographers, videographers, and for creators just like you and me. So the problem with social media is you don't own the content. You can't simply move it around or feature things the way you want. They can be shut down overnight. That just happened recently with TikTok, where everybody that was sharing on TikTok got locked out for a couple of days. The same thing can happen with any other social media that's not yours. If you own your own website name and you pay for hosting, you could do whatever you want. Every good professional creator out there, every one of them needs a website. Most of them have websites, and there's lots of different sharing platforms out there. And just to be perfectly transparent, this is a sponsored video from a company called Pixpa. I used to use a couple of other hosting platforms, and to be honest with you, I was never 100% happy. I had just let my Squarespace expire this last year, and I was on the search for another platform that could do everything that Squarespace could do and a few more things. And I wasn't sure where to go. Funny enough, Pixpa reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in reviewing their product. And at first I was like, man, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know. I had a bunch of excuses. But after a day or two, I got back to them and I said, I would love to check out your product. They gave me a free trial period to check it out, see if I'd be interested in building a website. And I gotta tell you, from a photographer's point of view, their platform is amazing. Now, the funny thing is one of my big complaints about hosting a website was there wasn't really a one-stop shop. A lot of these other companies say this is a one-stop shop, but then you need somebody to host stuff for a store. You need people to host for online galleries. You need people to pick up the slack where each platform may or may not do what you want it to do. So the cool thing about Pixpa is it's your digital home base. It's yours. It's customizable. There's no algorithm you have to deal with. There's places to sell your work if you want to do that. There's the ability to have online galleries, and it's easy to use. Now, I've had some different friends and associates come and ask me questions like, what do you need a website for? You have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have blah, blah, blah. And the problem with those is they don't all work together. So if I post something on YouTube, for instance, and then I'll post it on Facebook to have people go look at it, Facebook doesn't really want you to go outside of their platform. So your post may get buried. The other thing, they're all competing on a level playing field, but they aren't playing together. And what I mean by that is they're all using the internet. They're all trying to reach a certain audience, but they don't want to share that audience. On a website, you could have links. You could have links to your YouTube page, your Instagram page, your Facebook page, so on, etc. Then you could have galleries set up exactly the way you want. Now, one of the things I've done, let's go ahead and bring up my website right now. Let's see here. I'm going to paste this slide out. You can see this is my website right here. So this is my website right here. This front page is just got a couple of teaser pics that I've done, but I could change this at will. People can click on these things and they could go and just go through my different pictures, and it's simple. I'm in my own little world. But if you look up into the corner here, you see I have set as a home page, my services. I can click on that and it will talk about different types of photography that I do. And so on and so forth. Everything's really laid out super simple. I got my work and I've got it all broken down into the style of work. Let's say you want to check out my street photography. You could check it out right here, and it's all simple to just navigate, and it's not like my Instagram page, for instance. It's got a variety of different work, all depending on when I did the work. The problem is if you're looking for a specific style, you may not see it right away. But if you go here, you go to my work and have it broken down into portraits and lifestyle and wildlife and so on, etc. And you could literally just go to that section and see what entices you, what rings your bell, if you will. If you're into wildlife like I am, you could go and look. You could go and get these pictures blown up quite large and really pixel peep if you wanted to. It's amazing. You can't do that on these social media sites. They also have major compression that happens, and so a lot of times what happens is your pictures don't look as good as they should. Instagram and other sites will have their compression rates that if you don't follow everything to the letter, they will make your images degrade. These are just a few of the reasons why I think having your own website is going to be more important than all the other social medias. The other thing is you could share your website on all these social media sites and build up your own audience. You could set up, like I have a contact form here. You set it up, get in touch for photo sessions, availability, or to discuss any other of your photography needs. Please contact me via email or on my socials. So I'm still including my social media. You can put your name in here and a little message. It'll automatically message me and we could get in touch. And you could set this up many, many different ways. It's not like you have to do it a certain way. There's so many different templates. Pixpa is going to work with your style and make it completely your own. I have an about page here that has a couple pictures of me, where I'm based at, some testimonials, all customizable. You could make it however you want. Now, I don't have up here right now, which is one of the things that Pixpa wanted me to explore with everybody, is that you could have client galleries, and I haven't quite had the time to build that stuff yet. But if I go out and do a job, like tomorrow, if I went out and did a wedding, and then once I had the images done, I could set up a client gallery. They don't have to show up on your page here. They could basically have a little back door where you send a link to your client and they get a look in private at their images. And then what's great is they could also order images from your page. And that's the beauty behind Pixpa, is it could set up a whole storefront for you. Maybe you want to sell some presets, or maybe you want to sell some one-off art pieces. You could set it all up as a store. And if you look at the top here, my store will also be somewhere in this range. It'll probably be right in between my work and the blog. There'll be a shop, and you could go to the shop and you could choose whatever I put up there. In the beginning, I've got a couple one-off designer pieces that I'm going to put up, but eventually you'll be able to buy, signature prints like I have. This picture here is called Splish Splash, and a lot of people really like it, and a lot of people that are not from maybe my area have never even seen one of these birds, which is called a spoonbill. But I caught it, giving itself a little bath, and it's just a really unique image. Well, this I do have prints of, and people have purchased it, and they really like it. Eventually, you'll be able to go through, maybe say an image like this with this tiger cub, and you could get that printed, and you could choose, do you want it printed on metal? Do you want it printed on, a rag paper? Do you want it glossy? Do you want it matte finish? Whatever, there'll be different options available. And that's all on the back end of Pixpa, which is really, really great. This is a part 1 video. I'm going to do a secondary video just to show kind of the whole process, because I'm a true believer. I really love what they've done here. I think that they've made it very easy. I was able to build this website in one day. That's pretty complete. Now, I've had a couple friends say, oh, well, your website's not complete because it doesn't have a store, it doesn't have that. But that's the beauty behind it, is you could add that stuff at any moment. This will grow with you, and they will probably continue to add even more services that I can't even think of right now. What doesn't grow with you is social media. It actually a lot of times is your enemy. And I say that because they follow specific trends. Now, if you're not trying to follow a trend and you're just trying to be a photographer or a creative in a certain niche, and if they're not following that niche, then it may be counterproductive to put so much work into that when you could have just a central hub. I use my website as a central hub at this point, to where if you want to see my work in very specific styles, you can. If you want to get in touch with me, you can. If you want to buy stuff, you will be able to. It's going to be that one-stop shop. Whereas social media makes it very difficult to try and navigate outside of their bubble. My website, courtesy of Pixpa, is giving me the ability to, if I go here, right up here, I have all these links right up in the right-hand corner. You've got my YouTube channel, you've got my Facebook, you've got my Instagram, you've got my my TikTok, you've got my X account, and you got my email. All that right at the top of the page. Whereas if I need to put that stuff, say, on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or any of these places, I have to set up a multi-link thing that will take you outside of their bubble. A lot of times they don't make it easy to see or find, and a lot of times they just give you broken links for whatever reason. So you're not going to get that with your own personal website. And the other cool thing is, I mean, look how big all these images are. 4 images across, and they are about the size of a 4x6 photo that you get printed at like your local Walgreens or other print shop. This is delivering that right off the bat. And if you want to see them bigger, click on it, and that's like bigger than 8x10. And you can zoom in. I mean, look how great that looks. That's amazing that I can get all this detail. Look at all those hairs standing up on the zebra. And it's easy. Hit escape, it goes right back to your page. Hit escape again. It's gonna get me out a little bit further, and then I can just go right up to the menu. Let me move my face here. If I click on my name at the top, which is how I set it up, it takes me right back to this home page that has a sample of a little bit of everything that I'm doing. Do you need a website? I would say yes, you need a website. One more thing about that. It's cheaper to build this website and host it monthly than pretty much all the competitors, and they've got more options. I'm going to put up an affiliate link so you could get a discount if you wanted to, and also help my channel out. But I mean, if you just go through and look at all the options that are up here and realize that a lot of times, say on, Facebook or Instagram, they want you to boost your post just to get them seen. You don't have to pay anything extra. There's nothing to boost on your own website. People are there looking at your stuff. How you get them there, that's, utilize social media to make that happen, but get them out of that box, that algorithm that's constantly taking away from you, and get them to where you can show off exactly what you want to show them. Like I said, the chronological order of things on, say, Instagram may not fit everybody. It may not be one of those things that works dynamically to the point where people can see what they want to see from you. But on your own website, you could break everything down into categories. Like I said, I have it under my work. If I go to live events here, I've got sporting events that I've gone to, concerts, rodeos, lots of different shows. And if I put this up on just Instagram, for instance, that would get buried at some point because everything is in a specific order of time. Now, obviously you could repost and stuff like that, but it's just a lot more work. If you organize everything onto a website, people can find exactly what they're looking for, and it's just going to be presented in the way that you want it presented. So, do you need a website? And I will say yes, you need a website. You don't need to spend very much money. You don't need to be a web designer. You don't need any technical knowledge other than just the basic knowledge of the internet. You can literally drag and drop things wherever you want them, and you could change the look in seconds. If you get tired of this look, you can just go back and use a different template. You don't have to redesign everything. I really like it, guys. I was very apprehensive about putting my eggs in that basket. I had a lot of doubters basically say, what do you need this for? Why on earth would you need to waste your time building a website, this and that? But the bigger picture is, why would I want to let some other entity like basic social media control how I present my work? I'm not one-dimensional. I shoot a lot of different styles of photography. I do a lot of different events. And if they don't coincide with the schedule that social media wants me to be on, or if I'm not pushing, short little 15-second videos nonstop, then I'm not going to get noticed. If I was going to give any advice, I would think as a professional creative, I was going to say professional photographer, but that's my situation. But if you're just a professional creative, maybe you make videos, maybe you do paintings, maybe you are a photographer, whatever it may be, I think there's two things that you need. I think you need a business card and you need a website. I'm not telling you that you don't need social media. I think those things are very important. If you have a business card with your website on it, your phone number on it, or a way to get a hold of you, nobody can take that away from you. It's not going to shut down. So this is Pixpa. This is a really, really great company that's been very gracious with letting me experiment, and you have the ability to experiment as well. You can get, I think it's a 14-day trial if you want, and then if you subscribe, you can get a discount under my name. This is a really, really cool spot to showcase your work, and even if you don't have a whole lot to put up yet, just know that it'll grow with you. I am not ready to throw up my store or to throw up my galleries for clients. I can't put that stuff up yet. But what I can do is put up the stuff that I like to show people. I could put up stuff that explains who I am, what I'm about. There's no limits. Speaking of, you can also do blogs. And I set up a blog. I've only done one post, but I'm going to click on that right now. And it's my journey growing on YouTube and securing sponsorships. And it was just a letter that I wrote about this sponsorship for one. And, I figured if I'm doing a video about this website company, I should probably also do a blog about it because blogs are part of their package. And here's another thing that's really cool. I could put up links to support me. So for instance, if you look right here, I have the QR code for Buy Me a Coffee. If anybody's interested in keeping this channel energized, this is a good way to do it. You could go buy me a coffee. If you wanted to put your Venmo or your PayPal or any other service up there, there's no restrictions. I do know on some social media sites, a lot of times they will pull those restrictions down or they'll bury them a little bit to where people don't see them. I just did a post, my wife was in the hospital, and I just did a post about my Buy Me a Coffee, and either nobody saw it or people are just ignoring it. In the past, when I've posted stuff like in messages and stuff, you know, you'd get some response, but I haven't really seen that. On your own website, you could put it wherever you want. You could put under the contact information, hey, here's ways to get hold of me, and here's ways to pay me, so on, etc. You could do an about page like that is set up that way. Really, the world is your oyster. All you have to do is organize it, throw it up on your website. If you get tired of it, change it. Really, I don't see any downsides to having your own website other than you have to build it at least once. Anyway, that's it. That's all I'm going to talk about right here. I may, like I said, do another video explaining how I built my website in a little more depth and detail about that. But I really just wanted to show you guys the ease of making it and the importance of making it. That is it. Later, Gator.